Hey, Scott here. Tonight I'm going to talk about the debt. Now, the debt is one of the biggest problems America has ever invented. It was not born with America, America invented it. Way back at this place called the Revolutionary War, that time frame, I shouldn't say place, that time frame, we went into debt $15 million. You're probably talking 5%, 2 to 5% of the entire wealth of all 13 colonies. 2 to 5%. Boom. That's what we went in debt for, to help pay the French and other people to help us. So what happened? The first president, come on, say it with me, George Washington, he had his Treasury Secretary help repay the debt. By the time his 8 years were up, the debt was repaid. $15 million repaid. That's got to be like 3, 4, 5 trillion today. That's just a shot in the dark off the top of my head. No idea. I'm just, no clue what it really is. I'm just assuming. And always remember, assumption is the mother of all F-ups. But, hey, it's just numbers for me. Just numbers for us here. If somebody wants to do the numbers and tell me what 15 million in 1780 would be compared to now, please leave a message. I really would like to know. That is interesting. I'd put it in another video. But, the debt. When Reagan took office, we had a debt. It was $500 billion. That's chump change today. That's what we spend on the military. We spend more than that on the military every year now. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong. I thought it was like 600 billion for the military. I could be wrong, but $500 billion when Ronald Reagan took office January 20th, 1981. What did he do? He spent and spent and spent. He made deals with the Democrats. Democrats love to spend. Well, so do Republicans. Republicans spend as bad as Democrats. Remember what I said in my last video? Flip sides of the same coin. Guess what? They are. Because Ronald Reagan doubled the debt from 500 billion to $1 trillion. Then he doubled it again from 1 trillion to 2 trillion. Then he doubled it a third time from 2 trillion to 4 trillion. And it just got worse and worse and worse. And now look at us. We're, 22, 25? Right now the debt's really hard to say because guess what? We're spending money like crazy because the government shut us down. But that's neither here nor there at the moment. I'm talking about the debt. What am I talking about? At the end of this decade, before all this spending because of coronavirus, we were looking at $1 trillion of interest every year on our debt. Now, what are we going to be looking at? I don't know what, 1.2, 1.3 trillion a year? Now, at the end of this decade, also, we have a problem. Social Security broke. Every president since the creation of Social Security they all said, we're going to take the money, we're going to leave it, we're going to let it build interest, and we're going to use it to pay the people. They never did it. They took the money, put it into the general fund, and spent it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're screwed. Social Security is broke, and the people on Social Security, people my age, I've already been told by the government, they're estimating, and I think estimates are way off because they're saying I'm only going to get 75 cents on the dollar. I honestly think I'm going to get 0 to 25 cents on the dollar. That's how it is. For those people who are 20 right now, 30 right now. When in another 10 years, you're going to be supporting your parents. When they go on Social Security and there's nothing, you're going to be paying for their rent, their utilities, their food. You better get ready for it now. Also, Medicaid and Medicare. At the end of this decade, well, that's another one of those problems we got. Guess what? We have 3 bombs who are going to go off at the end of this decade. The debt bomb, Social Security bomb, Medicare and Medicaid bomb. When that happens, our economy is going to just come to a screeching halt. Our money is going to become worthless. We're going to suffer a financial collapse, an economic collapse that's going to make the Great Depression look like the minor recession. Ladies and gentlemen, I suggest you start preparing for that. A lot of people think, get gold, silver, platinum. And I'm going to say this right now. Guess what? Can you eat gold, silver, or platinum? If you cannot eat it, it's not a good prep. Prepare for what's coming. Get food, get water, get weapons, get ammo. Because at the end of this decade, America is going to fall. That is my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. America is going the same way the Soviet Union did. Now, a lot of you who are going to see this video are going to go, who the hell is the Soviet Union? The hell is this moron talking about? Well, Google it. Before there was, I almost misspoke there. Way back when, at the beginning of the 1900s, there was a country called Russia. Now, in 1917, there was a revolution. The people were poor, they were starving, they were hungry. They revolted against the king, or as they called it, the Tsar, T-Z-A-R, Tsar. Well, maybe it is T-S-A-R. Who cares? I don't really care. What do I care about how Russians spell anything? Yeah. But they revolted, they kicked all the aristocrats out, they turned Russia into a communist country, the Soviet Union. Now, at the end of World War I, they just sat in their own little universe going, oh wow, cool, Stalin was in charge, and the Soviet Union floundered because socialism never works. At the end of World War II, the Soviet Union annexed Poland, the Czech Republic, Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, and they almost got Greece, but the Greeks stopped them. And then they went into Finland and the Baltic states, and you had the Soviet Union, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, USSR. Google it, see how they fell. You know what it was? I'll tell you point blank. They spent themselves to death, just like we are now. We're going down the same road. The only difference is we're a capitalist country, and it took us, 30, 40 years more. So ladies and gentlemen, worry about the debt. Now normally, I'm a libertarian. I'm like, you know what, balance our budget, pay off their debt. But I've realized it took me 20 years to realize it. I just didn't want to accept the truth. Our politicians don't want to do anything difficult. They're cowards. They don't want to balance the budget. It would hurt too much, and they're cowards. So now I'm like, you know what? Get everything I can. Ladies and gentlemen, get everything you can. Anything you can get from the government, get it. Because if you don't get it, somebody else is. And it's always going to be somebody who's rich, some big corporation. And somebody might say, well, corporations don't steal from the government. Yes, they do. How about GE, General Electric? 1 year, not long ago, within the last 20 years, 1 year, they paid that much in taxes. 0. Yet I'm sitting here paying 20%. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got any questions, hey, leave a comment here. I'll answer them. Got any comments? Leave them. I'll consider them. You guys have a good night.